You feel it too, don't you? Oh, that pull, like something's calling from just beyond the veil. Sit with me. These flames, they're more than warmth. They're windows, glimpses of adventures waiting to unfold. And tonight's possibility, it's particularly enticing. Feel the salt-stained wood beneath your fingers as you grip the ship's rail. Yes, just like that. The drowning grounds stretch endlessly around you. Their cursed waters mirror smooth and waiting. Even the name sends a delicious shiver down your spine as you breathe in the thick, heavy air. Your sails hang limp against the masts, their canvas whispering soft secrets to the windless sky, while tendrils of ghostly fog coil around your vessel like the fingers of some sleeping giant. Behind you, your crew moves with hushed steps across the deck, their voices whispers in this oppressive silence. A natural, this calm, old Henrik mutters, his weathered voice rough as barnacles. Been sailing these waters nigh on 30 years, and I tell you, ships that come here don't come back. Young Tom glances nervously at the swirling mists, his voice trembling like a leaf. My gran used to tell stories, said the sea here, it hungers. Shh! You feel it too, don't you? That sense of being watched, something vast and patient, lurking just beneath the mirror-smooth surface. The ocean stretches endlessly around you, reflecting the gray sky above in perfect, unsettling symmetry. Not even the smallest ripple disturbs the water, as if the very sea holds its breath, waiting, waiting for something to break the silence. And whoa! The world explodes. A thunderous roar shatters the stillness as the ocean's surface erupts in a massive geyser of seawater and foam. You stumble backward, salt spray stinging your eyes as something impossible breaches the surface. Stone. A colossal saint statue, larger than any cathedral spire, rises from the depths with the grace of a leviathan. Water cascades from its towering form in silver sheets, and you can taste the deep ocean on your tongue. Brine and decay and something else. Something that speaks of forgotten prayers and drowned devotion. But it's the eyes. The eyes that steal your breath away. Carved from stone they may be, but they burn with an intelligence that shouldn't exist, shouldn't be possible. Those hollow sockets fix upon your vessel with predatory focus, and you feel that gaze like ice in your veins. Sweet, merciful gods, breathes the helmsman behind you. The statue's emergence sends massive waves crashing over your deck. Whoosh! Icy seawater floods across the planks, soaking through your boots, sending barrels tumbling like toys in the chaos. All hands, secure the rigging. Captain Morven's voice cuts through the tumult, but even his seasoned authority wavers as he stares up at the impossible sight. Through it all, the statue looms beside you, water still streaming from its barnacle-encrusted surface, silent and watchful as a mountain. And then, oh my, it begins to move. Not floating, not drifting with the current, but moving with deliberate, terrifying purpose. Its massive stone head turns slowly, tracking your ship's position with the patience of something that has waited centuries for this moment. Captain Navigator Aldrich whispers, his usually steady voice cracking. Captain, it's looking at us. The crew falls silent, every man frozen in place as they witness the impossible. This isn't just some relic risen from the depths. This is something alive, something that hunts, something that has marked your vessel for reasons you cannot fathom. Captain Morven nods grimly, his knuckles white as he grips the wheel. Someone fetch the spyglass. We need a closer look at this thing. Young Tom scrambles below deck and returns with the ship's brass spyglass, its surface gleaming dully in the gray light. You feel the weight of it as the captain presses it into your hands, the metal cool against your palm. You've got the steadiest hands, Captain Morven says quietly. Take a look. Tell us what we're truly facing. You raise the spyglass to your eye, and the statue fills your vision in sharp, terrible focus. What you initially mistook for seaweed, cascading down its form, reveals itself as something far more horrifying. Long, flowing hair that drifts in the current, and beneath it, oh no, arms, legs, torsos, twisted in impossible positions, their forms translucent and shimmering like heat mirages. Dozens of them, maybe hundreds, clinging to the statue's surface like macabre ornaments. Their mouths hang open in silent screams, and their hollow eyes seem to stare directly through the lens, directly into your soul. Spectral sailors, you breathe, the words barely escaping your lips. The statue, it's covered in trapped souls. But then one face comes into sharp, impossible focus, Navigator Aldrich's face, his ghostly form clinging to the statue's shoulder, mouth frozen in the same silent scream as all the others. Huh? You lower the spyglass with trembling hands and turn to look at the very much alive Aldrich standing just a few feet away, his face creased with concern. "What is it?" he asks, his voice normal, warm, completely human. "You look like you've seen a ghost." "Aldrich," you whisper, your voice barely audible. "I need you to look through this spyglass. Look at the statue's left shoulder." He raises the instrument to his eye, and you watch as all color drains from his face. That's me," he whispers. "But I'm here. I'm alive. How can I be there and here?" Crack! The spyglass slips from his nerveless fingers, striking the deck with a sharp sound that shatters the lens into glittering fragments. One by one, crew members take turns with makeshift viewing instruments. Each one sees the same impossible sight: their own souls, trapped and screaming, clinging to the ancient statue in eternal torment. "Sweet merciful gods," old Henrik breathes, his weathered face pale as sea foam. "Our souls, they're already gone." Navigator Aldrich stumbles backward, his hand pressed to his chest as if searching for something that should be there but isn't. "The moment we sailed into these waters," he whispers, his voice filled with dawning horror. "The cursed drowning grounds? They ripped our souls away the instant we crossed the boundary." "But we're still alive," Willem the cook protests, though his voice wavers with uncertainty. "We're breathing, we're thinking, Are we?" Aldrich's question cuts through the air like a blade. "Or are we just empty vessels? Bodies walking around without the very essence that makes us human?" The terrible truth settles over the crew like a shroud. You're alive, yes, but hollow, breathing meat puppets whose souls have already been claimed by the ancient guardian of these cursed waters. The statue's massive stone hand, the one that had been resting peacefully beneath the dark waters, begins to rise. Water cascades from between its colossal fingers like a waterfall in reverse, each droplet catching what little light filters through the gray clouds above. From the statue's stone palm, something begins to emerge that defies every natural law you thought you understood. Whoosh! Spectral tentacles burst forth like striking serpents, their forms writhing with otherworldly malevolence. They move with liquid grace, translucent and deadly, each one ending in a razor-sharp edge that gleams with supernatural hunger. The tentacles weave through the air with predatory intelligence, sampling the essence of each crew member as they dance and coil above the deck like living whips of death. The selection is swift and merciless. Slash! The first tentacle strikes Bosun Garrett across the chest with the speed of lightning. His weathered body crumples to the deck, blood spreading in a dark pool beneath him. Slash! Willem, the cook, doesn't even have time to scream before a spectral blade opens his throat. He collapses beside the ship's rail, his stout frame twitching once before going still. Slash! A third sailor, young Marcus from the crow's nest, falls with a wet gurgle, his life ending in an instant of supernatural violence. Thud, thud. 3 bodies hit the deck in rapid succession, their blood mixing with the seawater that sloshes across the planks. It's killing us. Navigator Aldrich's voice cuts through the chaos with desperate urgency. Our souls are already trapped on the statue. Now it's trying to kill our bodies so we can never get them back. The revelation hits you like a physical blow. The statue's patient watching. The souls already clinging to its surface. It had claimed them the moment you entered these waters. Now it seeks to make that claim permanent by ending the lives that remain. As long as our bodies live, there's still a chance, Aldrich whispers, his face pale with understanding. A chance to get our souls back. But once we're dead, he doesn't need to finish. The 3 corpses bleeding on the deck tell the story well enough. Oh, the 4th tentacle rises like a cobra, preparing to strike, its razor edge gleaming with malevolent hunger. Young Tom stands frozen in terror, his eyes wide, as the spectral blade hovers above him, poised to deliver the same swift death that claimed the others. No! Instinct takes over. You lunge forward, your hand slamming into Tom's chest, sending him stumbling backward across the blood-slicked deck. The tentacle strikes where he had been standing, its blade whistling through empty air. But Tom's salvation becomes his doom. As he staggers backward, another tentacle, one you hadn't seen, lashes out from the side. Slash! The spectral blade catches him across the ribs, opening a deep gash that immediately begins to weep crimson. Tom! You cry out, catching him as he falls. He collapses into your arms, his young face already growing pale. Blood seeps through his shirt, spreading in a dark stain that grows larger with each labored breath. His eyes find yours, wide with pain and confusion. I can't feel it, he whispers, his voice barely audible above the chaos around you. The wound, it's cold, so cold. You press your hands against the gash, trying to stem the flow, but the blood keeps coming. This isn't just a physical wound. The spectral blade has cut something deeper, something vital that no mortal healing can mend. "Stay with me, lad," you whisper, cradling his head. "Stay with me." Tom's breathing grows shallow, each breath a struggle. "My Gran, she was right about these waters," he gasps. "They do hunger, and now they've got their fill of me." His eyes flutter closed, and with a final shuddering breath, young Tom goes still in your arms. On the statue's surface, Tom's trapped soul writhes in renewed agony, its mouth opening in a silent scream that somehow echoes in everyone's minds. The death of his body has made his imprisonment permanent. There's no vessel left for his spirit to return to. Navigator Aldrich stumbles forward, his face pale as sea foam. "The flame of vitality," he cries, pointing toward a distant spire that rises from the mist. "On the island shrine, we must relight it before more of us die, or we'll be trapped forever like Tom." He pulls out his timepiece with shaking hands. "The tentacles will hunt us down one by one. We have maybe 3 hours before they claim us all. If the flame isn't lit by then, our souls will be trapped forever on that statue." "The flame can call our souls back?" Captain Morven asks, his voice tight with desperate hope. "Only if our bodies still live," Aldrich replies grimly. "The flame of vitality can recall trapped souls to living vessels, but once the body dies," he looks at Tom's still form in your arms, "the separation becomes permanent, forever." You gently close Tom's eyes and lay his body on the deck. 3 hours until the tentacles claim the rest of you. 3 hours to reach the shrine, relight the ancient flame, and somehow call your souls back to your empty bodies before death makes the separation eternal. The stakes couldn't be higher. Not just your lives, but your very souls hang in the balance. The water around the statue begins to churn with supernatural fury. Something massive breaks the surface beside the visible arm. Another hand, just as enormous, rising from the depths with the slow, deliberate menace of a mountain being born. Sweet, merciful gods, Navigator Aldrich breathes. It's been holding back. Oh, the second massive hand hovers above the water like a sword of Damocles. But this time, it doesn't strike. Instead, something far more terrifying begins to emerge. Sploosh! From the statue's stone shoulders, between the writhing souls clinging to its surface, massive tentacles burst forth like striking serpents. each one thick as an ancient oak, dripping with seawater and supernatural malice. They rise from the statue's very form, as if the stone itself has come alive. It's not just watching us, Captain Morven whispers in horror. It's hunting us. Crack! The first tentacle lashes out with impossible speed, wrapping around your ship's mainmast. The sound of splintering wood fills the air as the massive timber snaps like a twig, sending sail and rigging crashing down onto the deck in a tangle of rope and canvas. Crash! A second tentacle, thick as a battering ram, punches through the ship's hull below the waterline. The impact sends shockwaves through the entire vessel, and you feel the deck shudder beneath your feet as tons of seawater begin flooding into the breach. She's taking on water, old Henrik shouts. Fast! Whoosh! A third tentacle sweeps across the deck like a massive whip, sending barrels, crates, and crew members flying. You dive behind the ship's wheel as the appendage passes overhead, close enough that you can feel the supernatural cold radiating from its surface. Rip! The fourth tentacle tears through the rigging like paper, shredding sails and snapping lines. What had been a proud sailing vessel moments before is rapidly becoming a broken wreck under the statue's relentless assault. All hands, abandon ship! Captain Morven's voice cuts through the chaos. She can't take much more of this. Groan! The ship lists heavily to starboard as water pours through the gaping hole in her hull. More tentacles emerge from the statue, each one seeking to complete the destruction of your vessel with methodical, terrifying precision. Through the supernatural fog, the distant island spire wavers like a mirage, tantalizingly close, yet impossibly far. The shrine where the flame of vitality once burned, where your only hope of reclaiming your souls waits. Jump! Captain Morven's voice cuts through the supernatural chaos like a blade. It's our only chance. Jump for the island. The distance seems impossible. The wire below churns with otherworldly menace. But what choice do you have? You run toward the ship's rail, your feet slipping on the tilting deck as spectral tendrils reach for you from every direction. The ship's rail rushes towards you, and beyond it lies the churning water and the distant shore and the slim hope of salvation. You reach the rail, plant your foot on the splintered wood, and launch yourself into the gray void between ship and shore, between the hollow existence you've become and the chance to reclaim what makes you whole. Splash! The cold water hits you, driving the breath from your lungs. You break the surface gasping and immediately begins swimming toward the distant shore with desperate, powerful strokes. It's following us! Navigator Aldrich screams, his voice raw with terror as he dodges another striking tentacle. Splash, splash, splash. The tentacles crash into the water around you like falling trees, each impact sending shockwaves through the cursed sea. You swim with every ounce of strength you have, lungs burning, muscles screaming, as the statue's reach extends far beyond what should be possible. Behind you, your ship gives one final, mournful groan before disappearing beneath the waves entirely. But the tentacles don't stop. They pursue you through the water like hunting hounds, determined to finish what they started. Brash! A colossal appendage slams into the water, just as your feet touch rocky bottom, sending a geyser of seawater cascading over you. You stumble onto the shore, legs shaking from exhaustion and supernatural cold as the tentacle retreats back into the depths, apparently unable or unwilling to follow you onto land. Other crew members emerge around you, gasping and shivering, but alive for now. But the island offers no comfort. Ancient stones jut from the shoreline like broken teeth, carved with warnings in languages that predate memory. The mist that shrouds the interior writhes with unnatural movement, and from somewhere deep within comes a sound, low, resonant, hungry, that speaks of things that have waited in darkness for far too long. Sweet, merciful gods, old Henrik whispers, staring at the carved warnings. This place, it's been expecting us. The terrible truth settles over you like a shroud. Your souls are trapped on the statue behind you. Your ship is destroyed, and ahead lies an island that may be just as cursed as the waters you've escaped. The flame of vitality waits somewhere in that mist-shrouded interior, your only hope of reclaiming what makes you human. But time is running out. 3 hours until the tentacles claim the rest of you. 3 hours to navigate whatever horrors the island holds. Find the ancient shrine and relight a flame that may be your salvation or your doom. The statue watches from the water behind you, patient as the tides. The island's mysteries beckon from ahead, dark and full of promise. Your hollow bodies grow weaker with each passing moment, and your trapped souls scream silently from their stone prison. Time is running out, and the island holds secrets as dark as the waters you've escaped. What do you do?